Hello and welcome to another episode of What's Inside. Today we are looking at 2 packs of Video City Best Video Games. Video City is a rub-off game card put out by Topps. It has 3 stickers, 3 rub-off game cards, and a stick of gum. These were put out in 1983, and the back of the packaging has different images. So if you're collecting wrappers, which a lot of people seem to do, be aware of that. There's at least 2. There's a Ring Pops and a Bazooka, soft Bazooka bubblegum. So I think there's a third one, but I'm not 100% on that. So be aware of that. Otherwise, let's open these up and see what we've got in here. Now, these kind of game card things were a little bit of a trend for a while in the 80s. There was a couple of trivia ones. And these, and there was another one like this that I don't remember the name of, but they did exist, and it was kind of a fad for a little bit. All right. So you gotta mind the stick of gum and be careful when you pull that off. Thankfully, the Topps gum doesn't stick as much as like the Donruss and Fleer, but do not chew the gum. You can see the mold on that. That's nasty. Alright, so let me see if I can get this unfolded here a little bit. And we'll take a look at the wrapper. With these heat seal waxes, you got to be kind of careful with, especially thinner ones like this one. They do tend to rip. So, thankfully, because these only had 6 in there, the corners are usually pretty nice and not nearly as damaged. So that's the unfurled wrapper there. And there's not that much confectioner sugar residue on this one at all. So this one actually came out really clean. Alright, so let's look at our cards here. So here we have the Frogger scratch off. Now this one is, you want to scratch it off, you can get points. You're trying to get a score of up to 700, and you get green parked frogs like 500 points. There's an alligator, hit it and you're out. Skull hit 3 and you're out. A pink lady frog worth 100. A blue bug worth 50 points. And a yellow 10 for 10 points. Now, according to the back of the other one that I'm reading, this one you start at the frog and you rub off 1 dot at a time. Then you cross the street to the yellow safety zone. Then you cross the river and park the frog in one of 4 frog ponds. Just like the video game. The game stops when the frog is parked or when the player hits 3 skulls or 1 alligator. The alligator is going to be somewhere in here, and the skulls are going to be down here, I think. There might be some skulls up here, but I know the gator's up here. So you'll want to, scratch one, then move up, and etc. It's pretty straightforward. So, I don't know if they were all the same. I don't think they were. But you can see the centering issue here. This one's got the copyright information here. This one has it cut off. Real common problem with cards of the time. There's way too much white here. But little kids didn't care. They wanted to scratch it off and play the game and have fun. It was a fun distraction for a few minutes. Take you a little longer than it would take to do a scratch-off lottery ticket. Same sort of thrill. So, you'd sometimes compete with somebody else. You'd each take one and scratch them off, whatever. You get 3 game cards per pack, so, it'd shut you up for a little while so you could play it. Finding a complete set of these unscratched is probably fairly difficult. But there were other games too, like our third card here is Turbo. Same general concept. You get points, but based on what you're doing. And everything is on the back, like the back of the Frogger card is here. See, it's got your different points. It's real straightforward. Each thing is worth so many points or what'll kill you. And then it's got the totals down here, the instructions in the middle, and your score. So if you did really well, you could write it down and compare it with your friends, and they'd be able to see which ones you scratched off and which ones you didn't. So the turbo is no different. There's a tunnel here, so you'd start there and come around, whatever. So coming straight up was always a bad plan, in my opinion. So you'd want to zigzag around, and you could keep trying till you got it. So like the red star is a crash hit 3 and you're out. And you can see this one's kind of coming off, and there's a red star under there. So yeah, but these are effectively just like lottery scratchers at the time. So like a lottery ticket had the same exact type of material here to scratch off. They've come a long way since then. So it's actually a lot glossier now with a different type of residue to scratch off. So these old ones look more like the original 1980s lottery tickets. So if you ever want to relive those glory days of not getting a winner then either, you could pick these up and get that experience. So those are our game pieces. Let's look at our stickers. So here we've got some Frogger stickers. There's 3 little ones, and then the Feeling Run Down sticker. And it gives you several stickers, which is kind of cool. On the back, it's got part of a puzzle piece, Frogger theme, looks like. And it's the green border puzzle. Then we've got Donkey Kong Jr. There's Mario and Donkey Kong. And it says Bird Brain bombs away. The jokes are pretty terrible, but it's a little kid humor. What do you want? And then on the back is another puzzle piece. This one is a purple border. And I think these were only 4 or 6 cards. I think there were 4. 4 cards to create a little mini poster for the game. And it was based around how many there were in the set, which I don't know because it doesn't say. And it's been several decades since I've seen these, so wish I could be more help on that front. And our next one is Zaxxon. And so this is Robot Killer, Spaced Out, Zaxxon Mania. Zaxxon was a really cool game though. And on the back, it has a blue border piece with the Zaxxon cabinet game. So, alright, that's the first pack. Let's look at our other pack and see what we've got in there. Got a little rip in that one. Let's get rid of our gum. Alright, so our game pieces this time. We've got a turbo again. Then we've got 2 Froggers. So effectively the same scratch offs, but if you were a kid, you probably didn't care. Maybe you wanted something else, but for the quarter you paid for these, I don't think you're going to be too upset. On our stickers, we've got Hop to It with Frogger. And on the back of this one is an ad for Electronic Games, so you can subscribe. It's a little disappointing because you'd want the puzzle pieces. But if you weren't going to use the stickers and you were going to collect these, you know, it wouldn't have mattered too much. Magazine subscription would have been $10, $9.97. back then. 6 issues. That's pretty expensive even for the 80s. Then Turbo. This is one big sticker. And on the back we've got puzzle piece with the red border. And then we've got another Turbo one. That's our last card. This is Turbo is a Gas, Turbo Mania, my high school Turbo, and on the back is another puzzle piece. And these go together. Really moves, it says. So, we don't have any other red borders. We've got a green, the 2 red, a purple, and a blue. And that's all our puzzle pieces, unfortunately. Because this one's got the ad. But, yeah. Stickers have held up really well, actually. Corners are nice and sharp. The images are still bright and vibrant. No fading. That's pretty impressive. The scratch-offs are going to be a little more difficult. I've dealt with these before. These older scratchers tend to be kind of difficult to scratch off, so you'll want to be careful when scratching them if that's what you're going to do. But these do rub off on their own a lot too. Actually surprised these are in this good a condition. The turbos all have a little bit of wear from where they were rubbed up against the packaging. That's to be expected, honestly. And there's going to be discoloration on whichever one the gum was attached to. You can see it here. So, yeah, other than that, they've held up pretty well. You can see there's a lot of them aren't centered properly. Both of these aren't cut properly, but the turbos look okay, and the one Frogger looked fine. So it really comes down to probably getting a lot of these to get a complete set. I'm not sure how many stickers or cards are in this set, but you'll want to look into that before you invest in these, I think, because anybody advertising a full set, you'll want to verify that and verify that they're not scratched off and that these are as complete as possible, so you can't tell which ones are damaged, you know, what's underneath each one. And you can always just scratch them off too. But yeah, that's kind of give you an idea of what you can expect inside Video City. They had to license a lot of video games for these. There were several, at least. We saw Turbo and Frogger, but there's probably also Donkey Kong Jr. and Zaxxon. So yeah, those are probably the only ones that you're going to see. There may be more games, I'm not sure, but those are the ones that we can gather based on the stickers that we've got and the ones that we've seen. So we can extrapolate at least that much. But that'll give you an idea of what to expect. I think these were neat. Great time killers. I kind of wish they'd bring stuff like this back. I think kids would like it. You know, obviously there's a lot of competition with mobile games, that sort of thing, but it's always fun to scratch stuff off, and if your parents are getting lottery tickets, you'd want to scratch stuff too. So it could be, there could be a market for it still. Trading cards have gone by the wayside, but if you get something cheap enough that entertains the kids, people will buy it. But that'll do it for this episode. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel, and we hope to see you on the next episode of What's Inside.